What's up guys, the Amigo Boys here. I'm finally back with another video. This time around we will be looking at builds for the upcoming race. I think it's 1 month, it might be 2 weeks, I'm not sure, but the Incursion Flashback race. We will be looking at 5 builds that are really good for a league starter, can work on a budget, but also will scale really good into the end game. So I found 5 guides here on the forums that I want to take a look at. All of these builds are pretty good for just leveling up without any gear, and after that also scale really high into the end game. All of these builds should be able to do most of the end game content like Uber Elder, etc. Alright, so the first build on our list is Double Strike. While Double Strike and Double Strike got insane buffs in 3.3, and it's really crazy because now the skill actually deals added physical damage to bleeding enemies. So this means that if you find a way to get bleed, you don't even really need a weapon, because you will get so much added damage just from the skill itself that the weapon really doesn't matter. So this means that you can potentially get really high damage without having any good gear whatsoever. This build right here, however, scales really crazy. In Incursion, I think he had 12 million DPS. I think it might be in Standard League. No, yeah, probably in Standard League. But still, this build is crazy good for Shaper and etc. This is in Standard League, of course, but the only thing he has is like he has Legacy Acuity. So I think you can get it with Leech as well. But the damage here, this is Incursion. The build works fine. The build is really good. Of course he has really good gear, but you can make this work on a budget. You will only need like a 5 link. Maffel made a really good guide on that as well, like how there was his first build he played in, I think it was the first build he played in Incursion League, and it worked really well. He did almost all the content as well. And if you want to be even tankier, you can also, instead of going swords, you can go with the Bloodseeker Claw, because the Bloodseeker Claw does actually give you instant leech, and since you have so much added physical damage from the skill itself, the damage on the weapon only has like yeah, it has a really low damage, but it doesn't really matter because the attack speed is decent, and the added fizz will just make up for it, and you will get life from leech instantly. So this is basically like the old Wild Pack. And then of course you're running with stat sticks, you're going with Tomb Fist, the most broken gloves in the game, etc., going with flasks and everything. So yeah, this build is really powerful. I haven't tried it myself, but I know a lot of people that have been working with Wild Double Strike saying it was really fun and really good. Because the thing is about Wild Double Strike, like, you have pretty decent single target damage, but then at the bosses you can just pop the clones, and then you will almost like double or triple your damage, because you will have a lot more things dealing damage to the boss at the same time, also taking aggro from you, so you won't be hit that often. Now, yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, also he has the leveling guide here at the bottom, which is really nice. So yeah, I'll link all the guides in the forums, from the forums, on the description as well, so you can check it out. But yeah, basically he has a really nice leveling guide, so you will know where to upgrade if you start with this league in the new Flashback League. Yes. The second build on our list is WINDRIPPER. This is my WINDRIPPER guide, but I will not be focusing on this one right now because this is a ranger, this is a raider actually. What we want to do for Incursion League, we want to go with a Deadeye. Now, I haven't found a guide, but there's tons of WINDRIPPER Magic Find Deadeye builds out there. One of them is from this guy. Let's see if his name, Matt Senpai. Yeah, he made a really good Magic Find build as well. Basically what you do here is, this is not about clearing the end game content. This is more about speed farming maps, speed farming currency, burial chambers, etc., just for insane currency per hour. So but yeah, this build, while you might think, oh, you need a WINDRIPPER, that will be expensive, it will probably be like 3-4x at the start of the league, etc., you won't need that, because you can level with any bow and any skill, and then you will gradually just equip more and more Magic Find gear, and then of course the currency drops will increase, and then you will be easier achieving your goal of the WINDRIPPER. And once you have your WINDRIPPER, you'll start clearing maps even faster and can upgrade your other gears as well. So in the start, I would just buy the cheap magic find gear like Sadima's Touch and all the other quantity items that don't cost that much, and then just work with a random rare bow or a Tempest. Even a Storm Cloud will be fine. You will have decent DPS with that. He has a really nice damage section here with, or not damage, gear section, showing all the different gear options you can have. Of course, if you can't afford one of the options, you can just choose the other. You can go with rare rings in the start as well. Of course, you want to go with a Headhunter or a Viscous Leech for the maximum efficiency, but these will be expensive, especially the Headhunter. So the other options, like a rare belt, will be just fine in the start of the league. Now, the third build on our list is Arc Traps. Arc Traps is probably the most played build this league, at least one of them, and for good reason, because this is probably one of those builds that has the lowest gear requirement. Like you can toss Arc Traps on any skill tree probably, and you can delete content with it. It's so broken. It's so good for leveling as well that it melts content. So yeah, this guy, or this girl here, Kitten Cat Noodle, she's a streamer as well. She made a really nice guide on Arc, a lightning spire trap, Saboteur here. And the reason you go Saboteur is, of course, it's the Trapper Ascendancy. It just has the best overall options for traps, and also if you weren't going a Saboteur, it would be way harder to have like defensive capabilities on your build, because Saboteur does have that sweet regen, like up to 20% regen I think, when you've thrown a trap, which just is so good, because without this you can't leech from the traps or anything, so you will be stuck with the regen here, which helps really, it helps a lot. And yeah, so the Arc Traps here, she has a video showcasing the different, we can just look at it
this
really
build has
here,
been
so
Glowcube tested, Glowcube approved.
Let's see if you have
Hey guys, it's Noodle, and I'd like to show you my Saboteur
so yeah,
Arc Trapper
like,
League
the
starter.
Trappers,
This build is great for the current
one-shots
Incursion League as it
basically,
has low gear.
most of the content, etc. This version in the videos here doesn't seem to have too much damage, but if you look at other players like Zizaran for example, they have really nice clear with Arc Traps. So yeah, you can definitely make it work. It might not be this guide you want to look at, but I'll try to see if I can find some others and put them down in the description as well. But basically what the build is about is just, since Arc chains, you can basically always, the traps will always target the monsters and so on, because Arc auto targets, and it's really nice, because if you were to run like a Trapper with another skill, you might not make sure that, or you might not be sure that all the traps hit the target, etc. Because if it was projectiles, for example, they could be shooting off screen. But with Arc, they will always hit the target as long as it's triggered by a monster. Yes, so for the fourth build we have Elemental Hit, and this is my own build guide again, and we will not be taking a look at this one. I made a pretty good like explanation of the gear and so on, but actually this is not the guy we want to be taking a look at, because this build here is on a Scion. We want to go with a Deadeye. So I found a guy here called 99 Prozark, and he made a really good Deadeye build. This also has a budget version, like you can, starter gear doesn't even cost 1x, really cheap, and you can scale it really high up to the end game. The good thing about playing as a Deadeye is also that the leveling is not as awkward, because getting ascendancy points on a Scion is really awkward. Like you will get something, you will not get anything in the first lap, then you will get something in the second and the third, and so on. Like it's just really awkward. And then you also need to respec a lot of points once you get your starting location, etc. It's not really the best ideal thing for a league starter playing as a Scion. But the Deadeye has the good like the thing about the Deadeye is also that, look, this is my Deadeye skill tree here. This looks completely like a generic bow character, so you can toss any skill and with any gear, and you can probably do Tornado Shot or any like Rain of Arrows just fine until you get your gear going, and then you will swap over to Elemental Hit, and you won't even need to respec any points at all, since the tree is basically the same. You might need a few respec points, but you'll get those from the quest rewards anyways, and the ascendancy points will be the same as well. You'll be taking Faster Deadly for the accuracy rating, Just gonna help you a lot when you're a crit build as well. You're gonna get the tailwind, of course, and then you want to get the chain. The chain is also really nice, and especially on elemental hit, because without chain on elemental hit, the clear is really bad. I even ran chain support on my build, because I did actually play it as a Deadeye as well. I tested both Cyan and Deadeye. Deadeye had way better clear speed, but lacked a little bit more survivability. But yeah, as a league starter, I would definitely recommend the Deadeye over a Cyan. And you can see here he has his budget starter gear as well. Like this is Sarkonia's Yoke of Suffering, Call to Brotherhood, Pyre. All these things are really cheap. Chinsol as well. All these items probably cost less than like 3 chaos. The jewels might be a little bit more expensive. The elemental hit threshold jewels, combat focus. Especially now that people know how powerful it is. They didn't really know it before when the league started, but yeah, so these might be cost 10 chaos or something like that. But sure, just farm some currency up with normal bow and then swap over to elemental hit once you have the same skill tree, so it should be fine once you have the currency for it. And the last build on our list is going to be Triple Herald Blade Vortex, and this is from Dirty Dot, and this is one of the most, I think one of the most popular guys on the forums actually. It has over 1.5 million forum views, which is crazy. You can also see the number of pages on the replies here, 264. That's even more than my WINDRIPPER build. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, it's more than my WINDRIPPER build. So this build is really good. I tried it as well. I think this was actually my league starter. It was really fun. Not the best boss killer, but as a map farmer it was definitely really good. The build takes abuse of the broken impulses, broken heart. It even has broken in the name, so you know what you're getting here. This is really crazy. It just makes your shock enemies like explode, and you can with the heralds as well. You can off screen like the heralds on the explosion shield will just one-shot packs across the screen, while you just whirl or shield charge through the packs with your blade vortexes spinning around you. So it's really powerful and has decent boss damage as well. And yeah, the build doesn't require anything at all. Like it's pretty cheap. You can go with you can even go with an unlinked impulses heart, because that's what I did. And then I just had a helmet, a shaper helmet I think, with the supported by hypothermia and some spell crit on it. It was way cheaper, and it's because people don't really seem to think of the cheapest options when they search for that stuff. They just look in the build guide, look, okay, we need a 6 link, so they're gonna buy that. But if you, for example, go to PoE.trade, I'll just show you actually really quickly here. Socketed by hypothermia, and for example, spells have, okay, let's see, spells have, it's not an implicit, this one, like 2 spell crit. Oh shit. Okay, socketed spells, that's why. This is because there's 2 of these mods. One of them is global. So yeah, you can see it costs 2 chaos, right? Even with 10 chaos, it's way cheaper than paying like 4 to 5x for a 6 link chest piece. So that's what I did. Had really crazy damage. The build was just overall really good, and the clear speed as well. I'll just show you a quick video here showcasing like the clear speed against the tier 15 map here. He cleared it in like 2 minutes and 50. That's pretty fast. You can just see you well through everything, because your heralds and the explosions does the job. Even when it comes to the boss, I think, where's the boss at? You just stack up your blade vortexes beforehand, and then you go in and then you deal the damage. And this was actually in 3.2, and blade vortex got even more buffed in 3.3, so the build should be even better right now. Yeah guys, and I think that was it for today, but I want to make an announcement because I will be streaming this race on my Twitch. You can find it at the bottom here. I might not be streaming from the start of the race tonight because I have some other stuff to do as well, but I will be streaming at some point. So maybe after like 2 hours after the race start, I'll be streaming. So check out the link at the bottom here if you wanted to tune in for that. It'll be really fun, and yeah, I'll be pushing for my Magic Find WINDRIPPER character, seeing how much loot I can get. It will be really nice. So we're gonna make like a day-by-day update probably on YouTube, so I'll have a lot more content in store for you guys. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and peace out.